Today, I'm going to talk about the 3 steps needed to selling your property by a rent-to-own agreement. This is an excellent way to easily get the asking price for your house. The process is simple, and you'll likely be able to find a buyer right away. There are many reasons a homeowner or landlord chooses to sell their property using a rent-to-own agreement. If the cash is not needed right away, there are many financial benefits to selling your house in this manner. But getting to the steps. Step one, find the right tenant buyer. You'll want to get a good tenant buyer in there that will qualify for a loan within the lease period, which is generally 1 to 3 years. You also want a good tenant in there that's going to take care of the property and keep it in good condition and have a good chance of closing at the end of the lease period. You might have to extend the lease, have some kind of agreement that you'll extend a little bit further if they need a little more time to qualify. Step two, run the numbers, because as a seller, you're giving up the immediate cash for a long-term gain. So you want to make sure it's worthwhile to you. So you're going to have to decide on how much money you're going to need up front with the option fee. You'll need to figure out what you're going to need to charge for rent to make it worthwhile for you. You'll need to decide which maintenance issues or expenses are you going to pass on to the tenant buyer and which ones you are going to manage yourself. Because remember, you're still the owner of the house during the lease period, and you are ultimately responsible for the taxes and insurance. So make sure the monthly rent that you are charging will cover these expenses. With the rent-to-own agreement, the sale price is typically locked in at the time of signing of the rental agreement there, or the lease purchase. However, in some cases, a tenant will agree to purchase at the market value at the time of the actual sale. There's good and bad with that, because you might run the risk that the home value drops and you won't be able to get a higher price when all is said and done. The other, though, is if the prices continue to rise, you'll be able to get a little more money at the time of executing the sales agreement. Step three, agree on the terms. There are many things a buyer and seller are going to have to agree on before executing their rent-to-own agreement. Before you sign on the dotted line, make sure you have an attorney take a look at over things to make sure everything is covered, because the smallest mistakes in your contract could have a huge impact on your ability to sell with the terms that you had planned on. A few of the financial details that you'll have to include is how much will the option fee be, how much will rent be each month, how much, if anything, will go towards discounting the purchase price, how long before a purchase is going to be required, who will be responsible for taxes, maintenance, and what happens with the default. Spelling everything out as clearly as possible from the get-go will save you from any disagreements and frustration during the lease period, as well as until you officially sell the property. When handled correctly, the rent-to-own agreement is a great way for a homeowner or landlord to sell their house. To learn more about selling your property creatively, give me a call, 734-245-9654. I answer my own phone.